Hello! I want to do a follow-up to a video that I did about plastic surgery. I will link that video because I think it's really important to discuss this part of it. If you want to learn more about that and why I am trying to get my implants taken out, then this is the video for you. I just want to put a disclaimer. I am not going to get overly graphic and there's not going to be anything like inappropriate, but I am going to be talking about breast augmentation and boobs. So if you have any children around, I would just suggest that, either you have your headphones in or you watch this video, a little bit later. You can make your own choice, but I just want to let you know I will be talking about some of those things. I am on my way to a consultation to have my implants. I have breast implants, and I'm on my way for a consultation to have them removed. I'm having some issues with them, and so I wanted to discuss this so that you can have a full picture. I'm not against plastic surgery at all. If it's something you want to do and you think that you feel good about it, I think that, yeah, you should go ahead and do it. What I am for is to understand the full picture, and I don't think that I did understand the full picture whenever I got my implants to begin with. You want to just keep in mind when you make the decision and understand that the decision to get implants actually isn't the end of the decision, and I really thought that it was. So, for context, I am 46 years old when I'm filming this and on my way to this appointment. And I have had my implants in for about, I think I got them in 2014 and it's 2023 currently. Some of the reasons that I have decided to try to get my implants removed is the fact that when I got my implants, I was probably 50-ish pounds lighter than I am now. And I'm one of those people that gains and loses in their chest. So I was a lot thinner, and so I didn't really have like natural chest. And so for me at the time, it was going to sort of make my body, to me, just look a little bit more proportional, and it was all good. I wanted to get C cups, but my husband at the time really pushed me to get a D cup based on like the width of my shoulders and things like that. And I didn't have an issue with that. The women in my family have a very large family. They all really they're pretty busty. So I'm like, I'll just kind of look like the rest of my family. The surgery went great. I had a great surgeon. I did tear the stitches by doing too much the first couple days. You really can't lift things. I was actually reaching to open a drawer and I tore my stitches. I should say this. Prior to getting my implants, I had lost 90 pounds. So I had a lot of excess skin and I couldn't just get implants. I actually had to get a breast lift and augmentation at the same time. So it was a little bit more of an intense surgery and the recovery was a little bit longer. So I had a lot more cuts. And so I did have to end up going back into the surgery center to address the small tear that I made. So some of the things I found out later, and I'm not going to say that they weren't disclosed to me, I'm not going to say that, but you can hear things from the doctor and you don't fully comprehend what it's going to actually mean. One of the things that they told me could happen, did happen, and I didn't understand how problematic it was going to be. So because I had to have a full breast lift and augmentation, they take the full nipple off and they sort of rebuild it to make it kind of fit your size that you're going to be now. Because of that, I lost all feeling in my nipples completely. Sometimes you can lose some feeling, sometimes you won't lose any. There's just no guarantee. But I just had none at all. And I didn't think really that would matter, except for what I realized later on once I had healed is that in terms of any intimacy pleasure, I didn't realize how much that would affect my intimacy, and it really did. So I kind of had to relearn my body in terms of being intimate with my husband, and that was just something I wasn't really fully comprehending, and you don't until you go through it. So that's why I wanted to share that. I was good with the implants for quite a long time. Over the pandemic, I did gain a bunch of weight like everybody else. That's really when the problems really started to happen. That weight gain, like I said before, I'd lost 90 pounds before, and I kept that off for like over 15 years or something. And that weight gain, essentially, I said earlier, I gain and lose in my chest. So I gained back what I would have been as a natural C cup or D cup when I was heavier over top of the implants. So right now, the last time I measured it, I was a 38 triple D or something. And it is just
horrible.
I had lost that weight and I kept it off for a long time. We definitely didn't discuss what would happen if I gained weight. And I really wish that we would have, because I wouldn't have gone as big. And I think if I hadn't have gone as big, I wouldn't really be in the issue that I am now. Some of the problems it's causing me is I have a lot of pain in the stitches because it's like constantly pulling, because I had a breast lift and an augmentation. I'm just huge. Like, they're just huge. It's very cumbersome. It's extremely hard to exercise. I have to wear like 2 sports bras in order to exercise, which then actually restricts my breathing quite a bit. And it's just becoming a huge issue. My back hurts literally constantly. I wake up and my back's already hurting. And I have like shoulder divots, and that is a big indication that if you have like very deep shoulder divots, which I do, that your chest is just too heavy for your body. Because I'm having so many other health issues and physical challenges with the implants, I mean, they're literally just triple the size that they're supposed to be. And, you know, she's sending me to get referred to have them taken out. Hopefully my insurance will cover it, because it's medically necessary. So that's the other part. That's really what I am nervous about. I'm nervous to find out that, like, yes, you need these taken out, but, you know, you have to pay the regular fee.
One point I don't think I made clear is that at some point you will have to either have your implants removed or you will have to replace them. They don't last forever. So that's a question you might want to ask, is how is that process? What is the cost for that? What's the time frame, etc.?
Now, I got my implants done in Maryland, and Maryland is just a lot more expensive overall. I live in Pennsylvania now. Maryland's a very expensive state in general, and the cost for me to get my breast lift and augmentation down there, I think far exceeds what it would be in Pennsylvania. I do have to come out of pocket. It's literally not going to be anywhere near what it was. And I wouldn't be getting implants in, but essentially there would be some slight reconstruction. So the doctor that I'm going to isn't just a plastic surgeon. He's an actual plastic surgeon and a surgery reconstructive doctor. So a lot of times what he's doing when he's doing implant type things is if people need mastectomies and then they're getting, you know, implants on top of that. So he's not just doing your regular cosmetic surgery. He does cosmetic surgery that's needed within a regular surgical procedure that you need, if that makes sense. So say your nose was broken because of a car accident or whatever, he's treating that. It's not just like, oh, I don't like my nose, I want a new nose. So if that makes sense. So yeah, so I will do a follow-up if I can, what happened at the appointment and what was said. That's what I have for you today, and I will be back soon. Okay, so I just got out of there. Wasn't the best news. It's not really a straightforward process. So basically what they said was, like, in order to have my implants removed, there has to be certain criteria. One of them is that they're ruptured, which he didn't think that they were, and then one that the capsule was like damaged in some way. And that's, I think what he was saying was that's basically like anytime you put the implant in, then your body will, like, you know, mold around it, and it's sort of like the scar tissue around it. So I have to have some imaging done for that. But those are the 2 ways that they'll remove the implants. He said the implant removal surgery is pretty straightforward. And this is to get insurance to pay it. So, like, I can have this done and just pay it myself, which if I need to do that, I will. But if I can get insurance to pay, then I will. The other issue was the breast reduction, which I theoretically apply for, except for the fact that when you get a breast reduction, they only let you take out a certain percentage of natural tissue, and since half my issue is implant, like, he's like, I don't know that they would let us take out enough to actually even make a difference, and then you'd go through the surgery. So that's sort of off the table. The implants aren't 10 years old yet, so I still can leave them in for a while. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I'm a little disappointed, just because of the amount of pain and stuff that I'm in. It's basically like I have to have a bunch of imaging done, and then we will go from there, and then we will see. So this is not a straightforward type of situation. So getting your implants out, especially if you're trying to get insurance to cover it, is a lot of hoops and all that kind of stuff. The one positive thing was the nurse practitioner had heard of me before. I guess someone was coming in there from working with the Erie Cancer Wellness Center, and they said that they met me and they got a wig from me. So that was crazy and awesome. But I don't know. I will continue letting you know how the follow-up appointments go and how that all is. So this is where we're at. We're kind of waiting for imaging. So if you like these types of videos from me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you have any thoughts or comments or experiences in this area, please share them down below. I just ask that you be respectful, and that we don't judge people's decisions, but we can share information. So that's what I have for you. I'll talk to you soon.